The French lesson. When Sarah entered the schoolroom the next morning, everybody looked at her with wide, interested eyes.
Characters are Marite, a French maid, Sarah, a new pupil, and Jessie is also a French maid. The other characters which are involved in the story are Miss Minchin and Monsieur Druffet. Miss Minchin did not speak French but react like a French teacher, and Monsieur Druffet was a French teacher who was an intelligent and middle-aged French man.
By the time every pupil had heard a great deal about her, one or two of them had even caught a glimpse of her French maid Marite.
She is not really pretty,
said Jessie, stealing a glance at Sarah across the room.
but she makes you want to look at her again. She has tremendously long eyelashes and her eyes are almost green.
Sarah was sitting quietly in her seat, waiting to be told what to do. She had been placed near Miss Minchin's desk. She was not abashed at all by many pairs of eyes watching her. She was interested and looked back quietly at the children who looked at her. She wondered what they were thinking of, and if they liked Miss Minchin, and if they cared for their lessons. After Sarah had sat in her seat in the schoolroom for a few minutes, being looked at by the pupil, Miss Minchin rapped in a dignified manner upon her desk. Young ladies,
I wish to introduce you to your new companion.
all the little girls rose in their places and Sarah also rose.
I shall expect you all to be very agreeable to Miss Crewe. She has just come to us from a great distance, in fact from India.
The pupil bowed ceremoniously and Sarah made a little curiosity, and then they sat down and looked at each other again.
Sarah,
Said Miss Minchin in her schoolroom manner.
come here to me. Yes, ma'am.
She had taken a book from the desk and was turning over its pages. Sarah went up to her politely.
Come here, Sarah.
She said,
As your papa has engaged a French maid for you,
she began.
I conclude that he wishes you to make a special study of the French language.
Sarah felt a little awake.
I think he engaged her
She said,
because he thought I would like her, Miss Minchin.
I am afraid, said Miss Minchin with a slightly sour smile,
that you have been very spoiled little girl and always imagine that things are done because you like them. My impression is that your papa wished you to learn French.
If Sarah had been older or less worried about being quite polite to people, she could have explained it herself in very few words. But as it was, she felt a flush rising on her cheeks. Miss Minchin seemed so absolutely sure that Sarah knew nothing whatsoever of French that she felt as if it would be almost rude to correct her. The truth was that Sarah could not remember a time when she had not known French. Her mother had been a French woman, and Captain Crewe had loved her language, so it happened that Sarah had always heard and been familiar with it.
I have never really learned French, but
She began trying shyly to make herself clear. One of Miss Minchin's chief sector annoyances was that she didn't speak French herself and was desirous of concealing the irritating fact. She therefore had no intention of laying herself open to innocent questioning by a new little pupil.
That is enough.
She said with polite sarcasm.
If you have not learned French, you must begin at once. The French master, Monsieur Jouffroy, will be here in few minutes. Take this book and look at it until he arrives.
Sarah's cheeks felt warm. She went back to her seat and opened the book. She looked at the first page with a grave face. She knew it would be rude to smile, and she was very determined not to be rude. But it was very odd to find that she was expected to study a page which told her that La Pere meant the father and La Mere meant the mother.
La Pere means the father and La Mere means the mother.
Miss Minchin glanced towards her scrutinizingly.
You look rather cross, Sarah.
She said,
I am sorry you don't like the idea of learning French. I am very fond of it.
answered Sarah, thinking she would try it.
But you must not say but when you are told to do things.
Said Miss Minchin.
Look at your book again.
And Sarah did so and didn't smile, even when she found that La Fils meant the son and La Free meant the brother.
La Fils mean the son and La Free mean the brother.
When Monsieur Jouffroy comes, she thought, I can make him understand. Monsieur Jouffroy arrived shortly afterwards. He was nice, intelligent and middle-aged French man, and he looked interested when his eyes fell upon Sarah trying politely to seem abroad in her little book of phrases.
Is this a new people for me, madam?
He said to Miss Minchin.
I hope that is my good fortune.
Her papa, that Captain Crew, is very exiguous that she should begin the language. But I am afraid she does not seem to wish to learn the French language.
Oh, Captain Crew is her father?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry about that Lady Monicel.
He kindly spoke to Sarah.
Perhaps when we begin to study together, I may show you that it is a charming tongue.
Little Sarah rose in her seat. She was beginning to feel rather desperate, as if she were almost in disgrace. She looked up into Monsieur Jouffroy's face with her big green-grey eyes, and she knew that he would understood as soon as she spoke. She began to explain quite simply in pretty and fluent French. Madame had not understood because she had not learned French exactly, not out of books, but her papa and other people had always spoken it to her, and she had read it and written it as she had read and written English. Her papa loved it, and she loved it because he did. Her dear mama, who had died when she was born, as was French. She would be glad to learn anything Monsieur Jouffroy teach her. But what she had tried to explain to Madame was that she already knew the words in the book, and she held out the little book of phrases. When she began to speak, Miss Minchin started quite violently and sat staring at her over her eyeglasses until she had not finished it. Monsieur Jouffroy began to smile, and his smile was one of the great pleasure to hear this pretty childish voice speaking in her own language so simply and charmingly made him feel almost as if he were in his native land. When she had finished, he took the phrases book from her with a look almost affectionation. But he spoke to Miss Minchin.
I tried.
Said Sarah.
I suppose I did not begin right.
Miss Minchin knew she had tried and that it had not been her fault that she was not allowed to explain. And when she saw that the pupils had been listening and some were giggling behind their French grammar book, she felt infuriated.
Silence, young ladies!
she said severely, rapping upon the desk.
Silence at once!
And she began from that minute to feel rather a grad against her new pupil.
Moral of the story is, patient is the companion of the wisdom.